Good morning, fellow travelers. Hold on one second. Let me get my text to speech working here. Here we go. Perfect. All right. Actually, we're closer to being on time today than I thought. It is 28 degrees here in Hampstead. No wonder we had frost on the windows. I was thinking it was like in the 30s, and I couldn't understand why all the windows were like frozen over this morning. But we got past that. You'll notice the windshield is bright and clear. Let's get out of here. Here we go. Here we go. Lights on, back up. We got everything. We got 3 deliveries today. It's normally 2, but the gourmet girls are in need of a little bit of bakery goods, so we're gonna stop there. Here we go. It's gonna go up to 50 today, though, so. So we're gonna have a good day. It's clear skies, but it is foggy. Coming up to the bakery, I ran into some fog this morning. Kind of one really neat section where the fog was like maybe, I don't know how many feet, 20 feet, 50 feet, whatever. It was close, above the road. So like the road was perfectly clear. We're riding along. It was like we were in a tunnel. I probably should have gone then, but you know. And I could have gone again, but you know, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait at our light on this one. Here we go. Just don't like to jump out in front of these commuters in a big hurry to get to work. Yeah, so there was one of those scraping ice off the windows kind of mornings. I wasn't really expecting that today, but you know, I'm always up for a good surprise. My rearview mirror is clear. I mean, I can see through it, but it's dirty. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's okay. Man, I had the defroster on full blast while I was writing up the invoice tickets, and I gotta admit, it's toasty warm in this van. Toasty. That might be a better move. Usually when I'm heating up the van, I do there's a setting on there for like, you know, the vents, feet, and the windshield. But I feel like the windshield, when I set it on just the windshield this morning, it got warmer than I've ever felt it before. Like I'm actually too warm. Friday morning. Happy Friday. For our weekly office workers. We got a little Irish music going on here. Hold on. Any updates or anything else? Hold on. I didn't put my speaker out. I knew I was missing something. I could hear you talking, but it was like muffled. Hang on. All right, here we go. Was that Sawyer? I think it was Sawyer. And I think he might have said anything new going on. Nothing really new.
Team C says good morning. Any new updates on anything going on?
Oh, it was Mookie. Let's see. Anything new going on? Nothing. No, we've got the Christmas lights we don't know about. We skipped a day. I was thinking about riding out there yesterday just to see, but I figured, what are the chances?
6448 says good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning, Hala. We got 3 deliveries this morning. So usually on Friday I just have 2, but the Gourmet girls had a couple things they needed today. They get a delivery on Thursday, and usually that's it.
He says good morning at Hala 6448.
They're so close. Gourmet Girls is so close to Lenny's that it's really not a big deal for us to stop there.
6448 says hello, Mookie.
It was very foggy this morning coming up. Looks like it's cleared. And there was a section of this road, I think it was like right around here. Maybe it was where it kind of dips down here a little bit. And the fog was like right above the road. So the roadway, and probably up at least 20 feet, maybe even more. It was very clear. But then right above that, you could see that we had like a thick layer of fog right above us. That was kind of neat.
6448 says I can see clearly now.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. I can see all obstacles in my way. I don't know who's this car behind me. Kind of wanted to pass, but didn't make the move. Didn't make.
Team C says, do you eat anything before making the deliveries or after? Do you eat out or make stuff at home?
I make stuff at home. I don't eat out very much at all. And I don't usually eat in the morning. So I definitely don't eat before I come up to the bakery. And yeah, generally I don't eat until about 12 or 1 o'clock. I played around with that whole intermittent fasting, and I don't do it intentionally, but I guess I kind of do a certain style of that. Like I try to keep my eating between 12 and maybe. What happened? That's weird. Did I like buffer for a while there? Am I back now? I'm back now, good.
6448 says yes, but you're back now.
I don't know what happened.
At Team C says big buffer for me.
Yeah, it looked like it. I don't know what happened there because that wasn't a weird spot. The only thing that's different today is I plugged in the Starlink, but everything else was connected, so I don't know what that doesn't look like that's the problem. I thought I charged the battery when I got home on Wednesday, but I must not have, Either that or I left it turned on because it's at 0. Battery that's on the it's connected to the Starlink is at 0, so I have to plug it in. Did you? I think I might have been buffering. Did you hear me say when I eat? I did answer that question, but I don't know if you guys heard it. Because I looked up and it looked like I was disconnected.
C says you don't eat out a lot.
Yeah, I don't eat. Actually, I very little, very little. And then I don't know if you heard me say I pretty much just eat. I don't eat in the morning. I usually start eating, like my first meal would be usually 12 or 1 o'clock. And I don't like to eat late either. So I have a pretty small window of time when I eat usually. Oh, it's getting foggy. A little foggy out there. I'm just really not hungry in the morning. Are you guys hungry in the morning? Like when you wake up, do you feel hungry when you wake up? Because I don't. I always felt like when I eat breakfast, I feel like I'm forcing myself to eat something.
Team C says I have to like fruit or something. At Sivor9223 says you good night.
Do you? Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, I could see eating something light in the morning if you wanted to put something in your stomach.
Plus 6448 says but it varies, depending on how I feel.
I've been on a kick
Team
recently.
C says hello, at Sivor9223.
I've been on a kick lately of eating.
At Hollis448 says good night at Sivor.
Like I buy those little, I don't know, I think it's like 2 pounds containers of Greek yogurt. Usually I get vanilla. So I eat that instead of like ice cream. I do like ice cream, but I try not to eat too much. So I've been eating yogurt and like ridiculous amounts of yogurt. I'll go through, like, I'll eat half of one of those 2-pound containers of yogurt in one day sometimes. That's just ridiculous.
+6448 says you eat it plain or throw something in the yogurt.
I'll either eat it with like almonds. I like eating it with almonds, or like a cereal. Like I like this one cereal called Cracklin' Oat Bran. So it's these little square type things, but it's sort of a sweet flavor to it. So like I'll eat the yogurt, but then I'll have some. I'll either pop a couple of almonds in my mouth or pop a couple of those little cereal. So like it is, I do mix it in. I mix something else in there with it while I'm eating, but I'm addicted to it for some reason. I can't stop. Like I really need to buy smaller containers and just stick to one container. Because one of the things about living by yourself is you can eat right out of the container. You don't have to worry. Although AJ prefers if I put it in a bowl. If I put a little bit of yogurt in a bowl, mix some of that stuff in, he likes that because then he gets to lick the bowl at the end.
+6448 says, do you find you eat less since you retired?
Yeah, you know what? I probably do. Yes, I would say yes. Because, if you're in the office, you're always going to eat, people are always, there's lunch. People are always going to bring stuff in. I always worked in environments where, people would be bringing in donuts. Although maybe, I know I probably shouldn't say this driving a van full of donuts, but I don't eat a lot of donuts. I really don't. But, so people would bring food in all the time. So yeah, I definitely eat less now. What does it say? Road ramps freeze. Okay. Bridges and ramps freeze. I guess the road surface is a little damp. That guy right there in the right-hand lane. It's one of those, I've got to be ahead of every car on the road people.
+6448 says moist.
Moist, yeah. I noticed it even walking across the parking lot at the bakery. There was slick spots.
06448 says I usually don't join you this early, but there seems to be a lot of people around. Is it then normal?
On the road? Yeah, well, yeah, this volume is about normal. I was going to say it might be a little heavy. Sometimes Fridays are lighter than a regular weekday, but this is about normal. This gets, I mean, what time is it? It's 5:45. So by 6:30, 7 o'clock, I would say 6:30 is like your last chance to drive through here at speed. By the time you start getting close to 7 o'clock, then you've got the commuter traffic, and it starts to get really backed up. When I used to drive this for my commute, I was usually on this section between 6:30 and 7:15. I'd leave my house like 6:15. Maybe 20 after 6. I don't remember exactly what time, but it was like right before 6:30. Look, there's somebody walking. That's just the second person. I don't know if you saw that. There was somebody walking along the side of the road. I guess they might have been going. There was a car a little bit further back, so maybe they ran out of gas or something. But I saw somebody on the highway going up to the bakery this morning. So like 4:30 in the morning, there was somebody walking on the shoulder of the road in the dark. I think I would at least walk, if I was going to walk on the shoulder of the road at that time of the day, I think I'd at least walk on the opposite side, so I was looking at the traffic. This guy was on the, was on the right-hand shoulder, so he was walking with his back to the traffic. Oh, that would make me very nervous. Wow, that gas station's $3.29. That's the one. The gas station cracks me up. Their gas is always like 50 cents higher than most other locations. And I'm sure it's just because they're right by the highway. They think they're going to get people that come off the highway. But it's just unbelievable. I guess it works. We got a van, we got a truck. Look at this truck to the left of me. Artesian bread and pastries made in Baltimore. Huh! We got the pastries that are going to get there first. Oh, you know what? I forgot to ask Bob this morning. I was going to ask them what happened with the donuts. On Wednesday,
plus 6448 says the competition.
I know. We're ahead of them now. And their truck is just very plain looking. I mean, look, there's that car. Beat up looking over there. All right. Lenny's, here we come. So you get the van view. Okay. See them. I don't see them. I see them in the back, but I don't know if they're hearing me. They need a doorbell. You know what? I think I'm going to put something in the suggestion box. We should get a doorbell. Oh, he heard me that time. He heard me. I think he did. All right. Enough of this. I'm calling. Enough of this foolishness. Let's call these people.
6448 says I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
I hear you knocking. That's exactly what's happening. And I'm feeling rejected. When was the last time I called one of these? I haven't had to call them for a long time, so they're not going to be in my recent contacts. There we go. Lenny's Delicatessen. Let's give it a shot. Just make sure he's not standing there like, why are you calling me? I'm standing right at the door.
Good morning, ladies. How you want to speak? May I help you?
Hey, it's Craig with the bakery. I'm out front.
Oh, you're in front of come.
Thank you. Alrighty. Let's go to that. This guy's very nice. Good morning.
How's everything?
It's good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
All right.
Back there working hard?
Oh, yeah, man. I gotta do it. I come and do it. Oh. I need the equipment I need, though.
Yeah,
You know, I need the product I need. You
that's
know?
true. That's true.
My stuff don't go right if I have what I need.
I'm thinking about getting, although it wouldn't be live, it wouldn't be a live stream, but I'm thinking about getting this little tiny camera thing. I don't think I'm going to do it. It's like $500, but it's like one of these little GoPro-y type things. Although it's not a GoPro, it was called something else. But it's super small. It's like the size of my microphone. And you can clip it on your shirt just like the... I don't think you can live stream from it though. Or if you can, it doesn't have a good battery life. But anyway, it would be kind of funny. To walk in like in a camera.
49223 says get a body cam.
Body cam, yeah.
49223 says yo Craig.
Yo. Good morning. Welcome to Lenny's. I'm doing this backwards today. I usually go, I load the trays from the top down. And today I'm going from the bottom up.
It says I say go for it. We viewers want the full delivery. At Sivor 9223 says welcome.
All right, let's see. I am going to take the camera out of the van sometime. I tried that once, and thank goodness it was during my early days when nobody was watching. And I almost dropped a tray. Like it was very close. Like the first time I tried it, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try this. So I had this like little pop-up tripod thing. I put that out there. I was unloading the van. And I almost dropped one of those because the rack started to roll away. It was not a good day. Well, I actually found it hysterical, but it would have been very embarrassing. Check in here and see.
Janet says good morning at Hala 6448.
Janet's in the van. Janet's in the van. All right, let's go. All right, let's see. Okay. Here we go. Off to Gourmet Girls. The girls.
Or 9223 says what you have in the bag.
In the bag? Where's the bag? Oh, my, that has like all of my camera stuff. I mean, it has the phone. Well, I should say phones, plural. Some wire, some cords in case I need to plug in, which I did have to do this morning. It holds my Starlink, so like I can just throw that in there and I've got everything I need, including some backup stuff. I have a backup battery thing in there. I've never really had to use it. I had to use it at home once when the electricity went out, but I haven't had to use it on the live streams.
Hala 6448 says window cleaner.
Window cleaner, yes. Oh yeah, you know what? That was like a perfect setup. I should have.
Or 9223 says oh nice you have 4K cam.
I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is in 4K. I don't know. But a real YouTuber
6448 says I pay attention to your videos.
would have said, yes, you do. A real YouTuber would have said, that's the perfect opportunity to point you to my video. I don't even know what it's called. But I have a video of me talking about what's in the bag. Duh, that's what I should have done. But yeah, I kind of go through everything that I have in the bag. Thank you for pointing that out. I got another thing yesterday, by the way. I bought something else. I'm embarrassed to say. I can't believe I did it. I bought a...
Hala 6448 says the lost microphone video.
Yes. 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 That's the one. That is the one. These little microphones are tricky. I feel a little better because it has happened to John a couple of times. So I've seen it. I'm not the only one. But yeah, that was the one. And actually, I cut. Thank goodness it was a video and not live, because I cut a good portion of that out. I probably searched for that little microphone for at least 5 minutes, which doesn't sound like a long time, but it is when you're trying to make a video.
Hala 6448 says what did you buy?
Oh yeah. So, wow. I'm distracted this morning. So yesterday, I don't even really mean. I guess I saw somebody using one, or I saw a video. Somebody talking about. I bought it's a gimbal. You know what that is? I didn't know what it was until. Well, I actually had seen them a little while back, so I knew, but. Until recently, if you had said I have a gimbal, I wouldn't have known what you were talking about. It's like the thing that you can hold in your hand. It'll hold the camera. It'll hold the phone. You hold it in your hand, and it keeps the camera stabilized. So like as you move your hand around. Now the only thing it really doesn't do is up and down. So like if you're walking, you still have to be careful not to, like if you're taking steps, you want to try to even that out as much as possible because it'll still go up and down a little bit. But like your movements from side to side and tilting the camera up and down, it does all of that. It keeps it stabilized.
+6448 says yes. Of course. What kind did you buy?
I bought the one that was called Insta360. Insta360 something Pro. And I haven't really, I charged it up and I started playing around with it a little bit yesterday. So I haven't really done too much with it yet. I haven't done anything with it yet except figure out how to turn it on and attach my phone to it and sort of connect my phone to it. Because it's all like
+6448 says DJI.
No, it wasn't. There's a DJI version, but this isn't DJ. This is not the DJI version. That would have been my second choice. Like I watched a lot of videos comparing those two, and I sort of settled on this one. Oh, I put it in the bag yet. It's not in the bag today. Let me see if the door's unlocked. I don't think it's going to be. Let's try it. This one's going to be really quick. It's only like two little boxes. No, it's locked. Locked. Put that there. Finally, Cole. Here we go. Because I really want to start. The reason I bought it was because I'm not really going to use it for live streaming. Like, I don't see it. It really doesn't serve much of a purpose in this environment. But, I mean, I might live stream walking somewhere sometime. But it'll also be good for, like, video, doing something for making a video.
+6448 says, are you planning on doing walking streams?
Yes, a little bit of walking, a little bit of even at home, doing something at home. Like it'll track you. It'll, you could set that up. And if I was, like, I see myself making some more videos about like my Starlink, how I set this up. I could set it up next to the van and show you like when I get in the van, how I put what I put together as I, where I put the Starlink and that kind of stuff. Sort of like how-to kind of thing. And I would like to walk around and explore a little bit. Why can't I find it in here? Hang on. I gotta make a phone call. Recents. There we go. Let's call the girls. Hey! I think that means she's at the door. Did you hear that screaming? Like, anyway. Look, this is all I'm taking in. Just two little boxes. Good morning. I know. I think this is my second Friday in a row. I can't stop. I can't stop coming. think they needed those little pizza things. All right. Have a good weekend. Does anybody have any experience with a gimbal? Just curious. I was watching some videos on it the other day. Well, and you know, I actually became familiar with them or learned about them when I was watching the people that walk around in Disney World, because I think that's what they do. All right, what am I doing? Here we go. Off to what a day. Because you can't really, I mean, I like my videos to be horizontal, and it is more difficult to hold the phone in a horizontal frame when you're walking around.
Plus 6448 says my experience is I've been putting off getting one.
I think it looks like it's going to have a lot of benefits. I mean, it's amazing the stuff it'll do. It'll lock in on your face, so like as you're walking around. You know, if you had it set up, if you had a tripod set up and you were like talking to the camera, you could move around. It does a whole 360. Like you could actually walk around and it'll follow you the entire, no matter where you go. It's crazy. And you can, the one that I got, and I'll do a video about it once I know how to work it. I think it's called Insta360. Insta360 something. I don't remember the second part of the name. But you can even, this one, what I liked about this one was like you could.
Plus 6448 says yes, that one you got is cool. My friends have that same one.
Yeah, it's like white. I think it comes in a gray color too, but a lot of them are white. It looks very, you know, high-tech, space age. But you can even say, like, it'll have a grid, right, of like 9 boxes that you can choose from, and you can say that's where you want it to put your face in the frame. So like, you know, you don't have to be right in the center. You could actually be off to the left or off to the right. So like if you were talking to somebody, or if you had, say you were like talking and you had something you were explaining or you were talking about, you could be off to the side intentionally so that you could, you know, most of the picture would be whatever you were talking about. So it looks really, really cool. My hope is that it doesn't turn into one of those things where like I don't learn all of the capabilities. You know how you buy something like that and it's like capable of doing 1,000 things, but you really only ever figure out how to use 3. I don't want that to be the case.
Plus 6448 says I've been looking at the DJI Pocket 3. It's a small camera with built-in gimbal.
Oh, well, that's cool. I mean, DJI is huge. It's certainly the sort of the standard out there. and I think they tie a lot of their products together. Like you can get, there are benefits once you get in their system. You know, if you've got their mic, there were things about that gimbal that, you know, would benefit you if you had the DJI mic and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of looking for. There's a couple of things I want to do. I want to do a video.
6448 says exactly. That's why I've been putting off adding anything new, because then I have to learn all about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It is. It's overwhelming. And nowadays, when you buy something that comes with very minimal instructions, they try to make it as easy as possible to set things up. And I guess things are a little
6448
more,
says Insta has a lot of stuff also.
Yeah, they do. They do. Is that the name of the company? A lot of it, it's very intuitive, but the instructions that they send along with a lot of this stuff is very minimal. I find that, like, after I buy something, I have to look at a few YouTube videos to figure out how to use it. And that's what I want to do. That's sort of what I want to do with how I set up the van. How I was watching, you know how sometimes you get a recommended video and you're like, you have no idea why they sent it to you. I had some lady, she's in Washington. Oh, look, here's somebody else on the road. I'm having a day where, like, everybody is standing in the road.
At Hollow 6448 says, are you guys then realize I should have bought something else?
Yeah, I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling. I like to get 100% behind whatever I get. Or I don't watch. I do not watch any more, like, comparison reviews. So I watched a bunch of them before, between DJI and the Insta360, and I decided on the Insta360. So now that I bought it, I'm not going to watch any more of those any more of those comparison reviews, because to me that would just be like setting myself up for being disappointed. So now I'm just watching videos about Insta360, like somebody that has it, they're using it, and what they're doing with it. And the review comparison videos, you got to be really careful with them too, because, I mean, I watched one the other day where the lady said, I'm reviewing these two gimbals, and I have to let you know I'm sponsored by DJI, but I'm going to compare these two, and it's going to be a fair comparison. I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. I mean, I almost watched the video because I thought, there's no way, if she's being sponsored by DJI, that this is going to be fair.
6448 says, I think the one you got is better. I know it's a bit more money.
Yes, I think you're right. I mean, that's what I thought, at least for what I want it for, But yeah, this lady was not fair. I mean, not that she wasn't fair, but every time, if there was something that was close, like if she was comparing stability or whatever she was comparing, if they were very, very close, she'd always give the edge to DJI. It was kind of obvious. Even if she hadn't told you at the beginning of the video that she was sponsored by DJI, it was obvious that she had a preference for DJI.
6448 says it does more things, has more features.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm probably not going to know how to use it until Well, nah, it won't take me too long. It's freaky. It's like it comes to life. You know, you open it up and it automatically, as soon as you open up the arm, it kind of turns on. And then it flips itself into position. I mean, you feel like you're holding a little animal or something. The thing is like, has a life of its own. I mean, I'm wondering whether I'm going to need to feed it. I got to set up a section in my room. I'm going to make a room where I do these videos. I've decided to create like a little studio for myself. Nothing elaborate, just a spot where I can be, like have a table.
6448 says the streamers that I know don't necessarily use it to all its potential. They are basically walking streamers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I see too. Like the guys in Disney, all they really use it for is walking. These cars are paced just far enough apart. But I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna have like a table that I can work with. Table. I think I'm gonna get a whiteboard. I like whiteboards. Draw on while you're talking. Very basic. I mean, you could have like a TV screen there and do something like a PowerPoint kind of thing, but I don't know if I want to do that. These are all the random thoughts that go through my head as I'm thinking about this stuff. I also want to do a video. This was another rabbit hole I went down the other day.
Dash Marco says OMG hello, I managed to make it in.
Hey, good morning. How are things? Over in France, I believe you. So I went down this rabbit hole thinking about a video I want to make about Geno's. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Like Geno's is a fast food restaurant.
6448 says my thing is some people have a fear of the gimbal. Like when you walk with it, people around notice it. It attracts attention. At Hala 6448 says good morning Gene. At Gene-Markberdo says nothing ever goes to plan. It's 11:20 a.m. here. At Gene-Markberdo says hi Hala.
And it's actually, I have to apologize for my text-to-speech lady. She's reading it as Jean, but it's actually Jean, I believe. Jean. Closer to John. John. But she can't do anything but English. Were you all online the other night when you couldn't type anything English in the chat on YouTube? It was the weirdest technical hiccup I've ever seen in my life. Like I had to believe someone was behind it. But you could type other languages.
6448 says yes.
Yeah, you could type other languages, but you couldn't type English. And so we figured out a way to get around it was if you put...
Paula6448 says it was scary.
It was. We figured out that if you put a foreign language letter in front of your text and in the back, a foreign language letter, and then you typed your message and then you typed it again. So if you had it like one on the front, one on the back, it would send your chat message in it. You know, you could see that. So you saw this, whatever the foreign language symbol was, the English language. So I kind of fooled the system into thinking you were talking in another language when you really weren't. So we did kind of have a decent workaround. But yeah, it was very weird. Some people were just typing in, like in Spanish, but then you'd have to like switch it so that you're... I didn't go through that problem. Like you'd have to switch your text so that it would automatically convert it. I didn't do that. So anybody that was typing in Spanish, I didn't know what they were saying. Unless I grabbed it and took it over to the translate, but I didn't do that very often. It was a very weird evening.
6448 says, but you know, earlier in the day it was also acting weird. I couldn't be seen in certain chats.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Yeah, I think something fishy was going on. Oh, but so I'm gonna make this video about Geno's. You know, it's an chain.
Dash Mark Berdos, I didn't get half the notifications I use Sally get.
Some
6448 says some kind of foolery.
Sometimes I've heard that sometimes the system will automatically drop your subscription to a channel, or like I've heard people say they thought they were subscribed to somebody, but then they looked and they weren't. And I have heard other people say that they didn't get notification. It is kind of a quirky setup right now, I think. But I'm thinking about the Geno's thing. And actually, I'm going to tie the Geno's video into the fact that it was my first job ever. So I think that could be, I have some ideas about that, like I could do with that. Pretty excited about it. But it's not, I mean...
Dash Mark Berdo says I have loads of comments, just don't appear on PPLS channels.
Oh. I know that sometimes the issue could be that YouTube sees something in your message that it thinks is inappropriate. It may not be inappropriate. They highlight things that are really just fine, but I guess that taken out of context, they could be inappropriate, maybe. So there are times when I know if you're a moderator, you see these messages pop up, and basically YouTube holds them because they think it's inappropriate.
Mark Berdo says they were just normal run-of-the-mill comments. Yeah,
but I've seen even that sometimes. Sometimes it comes up and it says, you know, if you've ever moderated, it'll come up and say, do you want to show this message or do you want to hide it?
6448 says held for review.
Yeah, held for review, exactly. And if the person doesn't see that, like if the chat's moving along and they don't see that, it's just held as review. You have to actually push it through, and that could happen sometimes, I would imagine. Like if somebody typed something in mine, I wouldn't look. It's getting very foggy here. See the fog? If somebody typed a message that was inappropriate for me, it would just never come through. Although we've had an F-bombers or two. I don't know how they got through. I don't know how they got through. But Rosie has cursed, and it's shocking. It's quite shocking.
+6448 says a few weeks ago a bunch of mine were getting held for no reason. We were laughing, trying to figure out why.
Yeah. I know, it's weird. And they have combinations of words. I saw somebody talking to John. I was watching the end of his live stream this morning. I was watching the replay. And somebody said that they typed in or they must have, no, they didn't type this. They said it. It was their own channel. And they did a video. They created a video, and in the video they said something about, I love my children, or something about kids, I love my kids, or something like that. And YouTube flagged that.
6448 says, but I think the creator can also tighten or loosen the things held for review.
Yeah, that's true too. Yes, you can. Like you can add or delete messages that you want held. But apparently the creator that I'm talking about last night, that I made a comment last night, it sounds like if you have the word
+6448 says it's adjustable.
If you have the words love and child or love and kid or love, something like that, they're afraid somebody is speaking inappropriately. But it is weird. I mean, I guess it's a hard thing to manage, really, if you think about it. From YouTube's perspective, they got to be really careful because, people could be saying or doing really bad stuff, and then they're going to get blamed. I don't know. Most of it's AI reviewing everything now. Oh, I had a thought about AI last night. I was thinking this. Now, let me know what you think of this thought. In my opinion,
6448 says, really? Wasn't that a whole generation of people that went by that name after Woodstock?
Oh yeah, they were. That's true. But here's what I think. Look, it's got very clear here. Like, I feel like it's a little hazy up in the air, but the down here it's very clear. So here's my idea about AI, or a different way of looking at it. that I think is going to sound kind of crazy, but I like it. So, in my opinion, AI, like what we're experiencing now with AI, is sort of like what dogs experienced when they were going through the evolution of becoming domesticated. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to compare dogs to humans. I know there's I know there's a big difference, but, well, there's a small difference, um, but follow me here. Here's what I'm thinking. In way back when dogs were like wild, all dogs were wild. They were just running around the earth, and there were humans around, but they were doing their thing, and the humans were doing their thing. And then all of a sudden, dogs were like, "Hey, if we buddy up with humans, they'll feed us, they'll give us a place to live. This could work out for us. It's gonna make life really easy if we just buddy up with the humans." And there was probably a whole conflict between the dog communities, like, just should we do this or shouldn't we, right? Like, I'm sure there were dogs that were like, "No, we need our freedom. I don't want to be going in their yard. They're going to put a fence around us. They're going to do all this stuff." And the other dogs were like, "No, they're not going to do that. But they're giving us food, and then we don't have to worry about hunting. They're just going to put it in front of us every day, and they pet us, and they treat us really nice." And then the other dogs were like, "No, you're giving up your freedom. This is not the way to go." And the holdouts in this whole story are wolves, right? I mean, wolves are still like this. So wolves are like the dogs that said, "No, we're not doing this, period. We're not doing it." But what do you think? So, like, basically, this is like the whole dog is now a similar story is being told by AI. That's what I think. All right, am I totally crazy? I know you're stunned. Maybe I'm buffering. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm comparing AI to dogs.
6448 says, interesting, kinda like Pablo's theory, we are being conditioned.
Yeah. It could be. It's the same kind of thing. Oh, AI is going to make your life easier. You don't have to do this. You don't have to research anything. It's just going to give you the answer. We'll get a robot so you don't have to go out and do anything. So we'll all be in our houses. I do think that, people do need to, like, physically be around other people. It's just a thing. You have to have it, I think. I was thinking about this too with malls, right? Remember back in the day when, like, you would just go to the mall and hang out? And I'm not a terribly sociable person. Like, I really don't like to, I never went to happy hour or did anything like that. Like, I just don't like to, I don't know, I feel like I'm contradicting myself. I'm not a really social person, but back in the day, back in the 80s, you would go to the mall and you would just be hanging out with, it was just, even if you didn't have to buy anything, you would go there and just hang out. And you might go there with friends, but maybe sometimes you just go there by yourself and walk around. And it was just nice to kind of...
6448 says, but the thing is, AI is created by humans, so it's basically some humans to control another set of humans.
Well, it could be. Right? It could be part of it. Or they're making life just so easy for people that I don't see that being a good thing. I just don't. To put a positive spin on this, maybe we just have to come up with something else. Maybe we'll have so much spare time. But I feel like we need to get community things going on. Like places where you can go and you don't actually have to be a part of any group. Like in today's world, you can go to a community center, you can do things but usually you're going somewhere where it's all the people that kind of like, you're all of the same mind, and you're kind of like, and that's fine. I'm not criticizing that, but you're not like when you go to the mall or when you hang out with people in a bigger, I guess it's more of a casual acquaintance type way. We don't have as much of that anymore. I mean, we try to do it like through online, right? I mean, here I am online, basically talking about how you should live not online. Maybe I should stop now. But I think malls served a purpose, and it was more than just shopping back in the 80s. I feel like I'm not articulating that properly, but hang on a second. I'm going to call them, or are they going to open the door? What do you think? It's like people watching. You know, they're...
Paula6448 says, I totally agree with you. I am very old school. I like to deal with humans. No self-checkout if I can avoid it.
Oh yeah, I don't do self-checkout either. That's another thing I was thinking about. There's a grocery store that I go to that doesn't even have self-checkout. I love it. People are super friendly. It's like I've stepped back into the, 70s, 80s when I go there. If they don't have anybody in their line, they come out and they stand at the end of their register line, like out in the store. They stand at the end and call you over if you're like walking toward the right. It's insane. Like I'm there and I'm like, I can't even believe that their place is still like this. I drive out of my way to go there. All right, I'm gonna call. Here we go. Let's call What a Day. What a Day Cafe. Thank you. Bye. Wow, that phone connection was horrible. Did you hear that? All right, let me get this going here. But that's going to be my take on malls. I want to make a video about that. Just don't know how to say it yet. I got to work that out so that it flows properly. Good morning. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it. And like, if anybody that I used to work with heard me say that about interacting with people, they would be like, Craig, you never went to happy hour with us. What are you talking about? Like it was a joke. I'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm going to go. And then I wouldn't show up, because I cave into the pressure.
Doing videos on repurposed malls and casinos.
Good morning. Good morning. Have a good one. Oops. This door doesn't want to close. You gotta slam that. All right, hang on. It'll be one more second. Zoomed in during a real live stream.
+6448 says, are we muted?
No, can you hear me now? I had the mic inside the van. I should be back now. No, I was looking at, there's like a ton of airplanes out there today. There's a lot of people flying through the sky today. Every day, actually.
+6448 says, yeah.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. You are a little too. Probably shouldn't be adjusting this right in front of the police car. All right. Deliveries are done. We're heading back to the bakery. I feel like my camera. See, this is where I'll get myself in trouble by tilting this. There we go. I'm afraid that one day I'm going to like do that and the thing's going to come off the window. Although I have to say that that suction Suction cups these days are pretty good, pretty strong. I feel like that video, maybe it was slightly zoomed all along for like days. Because doesn't that seem wider than it did before? Maybe sometime like weeks ago, I hit the, well, not weeks ago, because I haven't had that phone too long.
+6448 says I have yet to make my prediction of the Christmas house.
Ah,
I have to get a good look at that situation.
you got to get, okay. All right, so I was going to, yeah, if it's still up today, try to get your guess in today. I'm going to put those numbers together.
Masticat.cs2 says he good Craig, Paula and everyone.
It is going to be a good day. I feel like we're getting a lot more. Like when I look at that picture quickly, it just seems like we're seeing more of the bakery's logo.
Says hello, just a cat. Happy Friday. Masticat.cs2 says happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yeah, I think it's going to be totally sunny today. Like once this fog burns off, I think we're going to have clear skies.
6448 says the sun is very powerful here, nothing but blue skies.
That's good. I think that's what we're going to get later.
+6448 says jinx. +6448 says I was sending that and you said it.
Yeah, no, I realized that. When I heard it read that off, I'm like, I think that was right around when I said it. that camera's a little more jiggly. I haven't. I bet you it's because I didn't tighten it enough. I can't really do that while I'm driving.
Justacat.cs2 says, "K, my heart finally slowed down. I was here early, then fell back to sleep." +644 is your heart.
Yeah, what was why was your heart beating so fast? What were you doing? Were you exercising? This camera is like really shaky. I can see.
Justacat.cs2 says, "Ya stupid heart palpitation thing. I woke up and thought I missed this live."
Oh. Well, we're glad you made it.
+6448 says, "Do you leave the mount in the van or take it on and off each day?"
I leave it in here. It actually sticks. It's one of the better mounts that I've seen. It doesn't have a really long arm. You don't want to have a mount that has a very long extension between the window and where you're holding the phone, because the longer that portion is, the more vibration you're going to get. So it's very short. I like that, and it sticks to the window like crazy. Like I don't think I've taken it off since I put it on, like 5 months ago or 6 months ago. I think I'm coming up on 6 months. So it's incredibly strong. And I used to move it all the time. Every time I got out of the van, I used to change. And then I started thinking, well, I don't know if I want to do that, because now am I just making, am I loosening it up every time? And eventually it's going to fall off the window.
+6448 says, "Sometimes you have to listen to your body if it needs rest."
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, you definitely get. Oh, look, we're going to stop. Hopefully, the lights will turn green as we get here. I just want to tighten this thing up. Oh, it should be like that. All right, let's see if that gets us a little bit more. Yeah, I have the same holder on my old car, the deer killer car, and I can't get it off. Like I haven't tried again for a while, but when I originally was like, oh, I'll just move the holder from my old car to the new one, I couldn't get it off. I had to go buy a new one. And I haven't even put that on yet.
6448 says I don't have a good one. Another thing I am in the market for, but I don't want something that interferes with my view.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I like it in the upper left-hand corner of the windshield. I think another spot, depending on how high you sit, if you're sitting high enough above, it's okay to be like, I could see it being along the, a little above the dashboard. That would work too. I think like John is like that. I think John's is like that. But I don't, like, I think some people have it like under the rear view mirror. I don't like that. That seems to be taking up space that I like to be able to see. I do want it to be out of the way.
+6448 says on the glass, not on the dash. That's your preference.
Yeah, I mean, I do mean attached to the glass, but you could have it right above the dash. So like instead of having it across the top, like this one is across, it's in the very upper left-hand corner of the windshield. I bought a couple of them. I bought this at Walmart. They sold it at Walmart. I think I have one at home. It might still be in the box. I should put it in my description. Like the stuff that I use. I think I did for that video where I have the bag. I don't think I had the phone holder though. I think I had a link to Starlink.
+6448 says, but I also don't have a second phone to read, so that's why I like your text to talk.
Yeah. Well, even if you had a second phone to read, I think that's problematic because I'm waiting, for the day when somebody's live streaming and reading and they get pulled over for that. I just think you got to be really, really careful. So from my perspective, what's going on up here? Somebody's like beeping. We seem to have a situation up here. No. I guess that truck just had to get around. I'm very conscious about the whole reading while I'm driving, or even looking at the phone. Like if I got pulled over, I could clearly show a police officer that I don't look at the phone. I mean, I do kind of glance up there, like the same way you'd look at a dashboard. But I don't read anything.
+6448 says it has happened. A live streamer rear-ended someone while streaming.
Yeah, see, I think that's not good. That is not good. So, but I feel pretty good that I could clearly say I do not look at my phone.
Stacat.cs2 says, oh no.
People, I actually thought about it. This whole thought went through my head one time. Like, what if I got pulled over?
+6448 says, very not good.
Like, what if I got pulled over and the policeman came up to the window and you guys were talking? So I have the speaker like right there on the dashboard next to the window. I just think that would be kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, the way I look at this, like when I set this up, there were a couple of things when I decided I was going to do this. One was that the whole process would not interfere with, what I'm doing for the bakery, right? So I didn't want to have anything that would take any time to set up. It's just got to be quick. Put the phone in the window and go. It now takes me like an extra minute because I put the microphone on, but that's no big deal. So that was one rule, and the other is that I couldn't read. I wouldn't be able to read the text, but I did want to have the experience like I was riding with people. So that's when the text-to-speech came in to the picture, and I think aside from the fact there's a little delay, but there's a delay even when you send a text. People don't see those text messages immediately. So it is what it is. But at least this way you can ride along. It's like you're in the car and you're just riding along, looking out the window and talking. So from my perspective, it's kind of worked out the way I wanted it to. Wow, the sun is like right in my eyes. It's right in your eyes too, but I think it's a little different when you're looking at the screen. Yeah, so this is like perfect. This is what I wanted to do. Like when I sort of had this vision in my head when I started, this is sort of like what I was thinking. But I want to have a video about that. I want to have a video like, why do I do stuff versus a mobile connection?
6448 says actually yesterday there was a live streamer who got arrested and it all on live. He had the phone locked and wouldn't tell the cops how to unlock it to end the stream.
Oh, really? See, if enough stuff like that happens, what's going to happen? They're going to start coming up with laws about this and that. That's what I worry about. I can see it now, like 5 years from now. 5 or 10 years from now, I'll be down in Washington testifying in front of Congress about how I want the ability to be able to live stream from my car. And as long as you use text-to-speech, can you see this? I'll have a whole speech ready.
6448 says yes, it was streaming from the evidence bag.
Oh my goodness, seriously? That's crazy. So they threw the book. That's nuts. Oh my goodness. We're almost up to the house.
6448 says he was crazy, long story. At Mukim C says yes. Sometimes the texts are delayed.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Up, they're still there. They're still there. Okay, there's our Christmas house on the left. Christmas house on the left. Everything is still there. When we get a little further out, closer to springtime. I might have to drive out here on Thursdays. You know, because I don't like skipping a day. I feel like then we never really know.
6448 says driveway is cleared of snow.
Yeah, most of our snow, you know, most of it's gone. I think we're a day or two, if we have 50-degree temperatures, we're probably only a day or two away from very minimal snow. There's a lot of frozen.
6448 says on that Christmas home, it looked like the driveway had been cleared.
Yeah, oh, it was. The driveway was good.
Stacat.cs2 says I still have to put my boat in and he at Mukimsi.
Yeah, you got to get it in there. We're still safe today. Still all these hay cylinders out here. A lot of them. They collected them all on the right-hand side of the road, but on the left-hand side of the road, they're still sitting there. Look, there's kind of like, you can see the fog is still...
6448 says me also Justicat. This one could be a tough one.
It's sunny and foggy at the same time. Have you noticed that? Like, you can see that there is still fog. It's very cool looking. If you look off...
At Hollis6448 says you're feeling okay now, just a cat. At justacat.cs2 says K good, you're really tough Holla.
We're driving through a sunny, foggy... Look, now we're above the fog. This is kind of cool. Foggy.
Stacat.cs2 says you're feeling lots better, thank you so much.
Now, can you drink coffee? Like, does coffee affect your heart? Make it... I mean, I say that because sometimes if I have too much coffee, or like an energy drink or something, you can feel it. Cows are a little spread out today. Few are eating, but a few are on the other side of the field. You see, they made a comment on my video the other day. Where it said,
Kim C says hello to you at justcat.cs2. Don't worry.
I said,
You are strong. At justacat.cs2 says yes, coffee does give me the shakes bad, but it's just cause I'm sick and need my methadone already. I might miss a few days sometime soon. At Holla6448 says you should chuck Emma donut out the window as you pass.
see if they come over to the fence. But John caught the fact that I said nobody likes a lingering Santa Claus. I didn't realize I said bizarre stuff like that as I drive along. But when we passed the Christmas decorations the other day, I said that. Like, they might be lingering. I said, nobody likes a lingering Santa Claus. It does sound a little...
Justacat.cs2 says lol.
Oh, we got cows. I think there were cows arguing over there. All right, here we go. The Tunnel of Doom. Will we make it through? I'm going to go 70 miles an hour through here. That's what I'm going to do. When we get to the summertime, when all of these have foliage and the coverage.
6448 says it's true, but I still have no plans to take down my tree and decorations. Justacat.cs2 says oh my gosh lol.
Did we make it? Did we make it through the Tunnel of Doom? The Tunnel of Doom. Bob's not back. Bob made his trip down to Baltimore to get supplies. He's still gone. I beat him back today. Yeah, see these spots? Like, see that left one to the left of the truck in front of us?
Team C says I liked it when you said you had to break off communications with the lawn decorating guy when he did not respond to your offer of a free cookie.
I did break off. I did, didn't I? I did say that. You got to do what you got to do. But anyway, see these spots that look like they're just little puddles? They're actually icy on top. You gotta be careful out here. All right, that's good. All right, everybody. Friday morning, deliveries are complete. So we'll be back at 5:15 for another fun-filled adventure in our everlasting pursuit of happiness. I don't think I said that this morning. Dropped the ball this morning.
Team C says thanks for the ride, Craig. Have a great Friday, everyone.
Yeah, you all do the same. Stay warm if it's cold. Stay dry if it's wet. But I think we're going to have a warm, sunny day. So.
Cat.cs2 says thank you, Craig. Have a good Friday, everyone.
All right, folks. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good one.